yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And of course, a lot of hue and cry.
Yeah.
And
From the
I just hope
people.
that exactly, and
Yes.
it's quite unfortunate. I see here the Daily Nation. For them, they are focusing on the same, but now a different twist. They say eyes on judiciary as the state turns up the heat on critics, and so scales of justice, judicial independence in the country is facing a litmus test following calls by the executive to mete out harsh penalties on opposition politicians, anti-government protesters, and civil society activists, some of who are facing terrorism charges and have been slapped with hefty bail and bond terms over their alleged involvement in recent youth-led protests. Will the judiciary succumb to this push or abide by the law and the constitution? That is a story that is covered on pages 4 and 5. The government has been accused of weaponizing the justice system to intimidate and silence dissent. On the front page, they have a photo there of the activist Boniface Mwangi at the Kahawa Law Courts yesterday, where he was charged with unlawful possession of ammunition. He was granted a 1 million shillings personal bond. The matter will now be mentioned on the 19th of August for directions. And so that story you can read on the front page and then on pages 4 and 5.
Yes.
And they are now saying, of course, we have seen what the DPP, which is the office that approves any charges, they are now saying it's now on the judiciary, the courts, the magistrates' courts, the High Court, whatever, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, the judiciary, to stand up and be counted. All right.
Yeah.
And I still, on the front page, they are asking Shakahola 2 cult horror resurfaces in Kilifi. They are saying detectives in Kilifi County are investigating whether a suspected cult uncovered in the Binzaro area is linked to the infamous Shakahola cult, which is blamed for the deaths of over 400 people. A visit to the homestead in the vast Chakama location, where one man was found dead while 4 others were rescued on Saturday in frail condition, revealed what at first appeared to be a remote rural settlement. The property is surrounded by thorny shrubs and has a single main entrance. It's a story that is on page, this is page what? Page 2 inside the Daily Nation. Ministry is raising concern as working class mothers are avoiding breastfeeding.
Oh, wow.
Shida yenu ni nini? Working class mothers.
Working class. Kina sisi sasa.
Nyinyi mfikiwa. Working class mothers apparently are avoiding breastfeeding. So according to this particular report, 3 out of 10 mothers in Kenya are not breastfeeding.
That's a big number.
It's a big number. They are not breastfeeding their babies at all.
At all.
Yes, instead they rely entirely on bottle feeding, according to the latest data from the Ministry of Health. Now, the State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards reports that bottle feeding has increased by 12 percentage points, rising from 22% in 2022 to 34% this year. And this worrying trend is primarily driven by working class mothers. Mtachagua upande gani wakitetea?
Tutasimama side ipi?
Kwa sababu kuna panaitwa aje? Pahala pawili pa kujitetea. Upande ambapo
ukanusha mashtaka,
ambapo utakanusha mashtaka
ama utakubali
mashahidi. Upande mwingine utakubali mashtaka
na utasarenda.
Exactly. But it's a worrying trend because
it's worrying,
especially for the babies.
It's worrying
because these babies, a mother's milk goes a long way.
Great benefits.
Great benefits
for the child.
To these children. And so when we have mothers entirely, for me the shocking is not just partly, entirely they are not breastfeeding their children.
And some of them is just for personal reasons.
Yes.
And what is even more saddening is the fact that that's the time you get to bond
your child.
Very well with your child, because as they're breastfeeding, even my own baby is always staring at me in the eyes.
Yes.
There is
Remember
something,
the story, or rather,
you know,
Thursday when we had Paps Wanyugi.
Yeah.
And how she was telling us
Yes.
about when even you are breastfeeding your child, and
Yeah.
that's the time you connect.
That's the time you
speak life,
bond.
You know, you bond and all those things.
It's true.
So if you're breastfeeding, it means that things, not just the milk, but even other aspects.
The things that are lacking.
Of raising that
And you
child.
see, her focus was on not being distracted while you are breastfeeding. Now this was her not breastfeeding at all. Afadhali wenye tunajaribu kuweka simu kando.
Yes.
You know, and just focus in that moment, because it's important. And in fact, the exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, I've been told, has tremendous benefits even for the immunity of the child. So I believe it's important for women to sacrifice. Sometimes it's about sacrifice. Don't look at it as, oh, ataribu my formation, you know, when I do this, and you know, it feels like, oh no, it's actually a good thing, and it's not forever. It's just for a short period of time, and they are going to live their lives, but those bonding moments, they will last forever.
Well,
anyway,
by a breastfeeding. Still on the Daily Nation. You must prove your contribution to claim matrimonial assets. Now that's in the corridors of justice. This is the judge telling spouses. Healthy nation pullout. We defied death. Read that story also inside. And when political seats become a family affair, leaders perpetuating politics of inheritance. That's on page 7 inside the Daily Nation.
All right, let me have a look at the Business Daily. And I see the top page here. The top story is 58 SACCOs face auction over 1 billion shillings unpaid Cusco loans. Quite interesting here. 58 SACCOs. I think one need to check is the SACCO that I am in. Okay, I think mine is not here. But anyway, that's what is being reported on the Business Daily. And I see there's a quote here saying, a good leader should give detailed and complete instructions to his subordinates. That's on the intelligence quote. And of course, Business Daily today is covering a very beautiful story on the live segment that covers top Kenyan talents ditch hotel jobs for lucrative cruise gigs. That is what is being reported. And more on the Business Daily, I see here titled Conflict, NSE and stockbrokers call a truce in CEO ouster bid. That is being reported on the Business Daily. So I don't know if we have much more on the newspapers, but basically that is what we are having, and we continue to pray for this nation that justice will be served. And not accusing, because you know the Bible really is very clear that if you pardon the wicked for the wrongdoings, it's an abomination in the eyes of God. But also if you accuse falsely those who are doing the right thing, also it's an abomination. So either way, it's not pleasant in the eyes of God. We have to do what is right, and we pray that our leaders will indeed have the wisdom of God so that they can lead us for the remaining time that they have before now we cross over to 2027, where we'll be having fresh elections. Let's keep praying for this nation. Let's keep trusting God to raise up a leader, to raise up a David for us, so that when they step into that seat, oh my, we will see the change we've been praying for. And I know that is going to happen. Even Saul was rejected, but then David was raised up. So that means there's a place for God to raise a leader for us that will lead us to where we are meant to be. So right now we cannot change the situation as it is, but we can pray that in the next general election we will vote wisely. Now let's take a break even as we look at the video of the day. When we come back, we'll talk about it.